All right, guys, so I'm back today with another high-value upper assembly from Palmetto State Armory. This one in particular is the 11.5-inch barreled upper with one of their more interesting rail systems that I've yet to try out. In fact, this is the first time I've shot an 11.5-inch upper from Palmetto State Armory, and it was a joy to shoot. But before I get too far into the specs and features and performance of this particular upper, I want to talk about Palmetto State Armory as a company in general. I started spending my hard-earned money there a very long time ago, and trust me guys, they've got a lot of my checks as soon as they cut on Friday. So I've sent a lot of money their way to acquire a lot of their stuff, and I've never been disappointed. Now here recently, they have started sending some stuff out to the channel, and they did send this upper out to review, and I'm really glad they did because I am impressed. But what really solidified PSA's reputation in my mind, as well as a lot of people's mind, I believe, was that torture test I did on one of their basic rifles. I dropped it from a 40-foot shooting tower, drug it from behind the truck, shot it with a 12-gauge shotgun. It absolutely survived. It held zero, and it's still working great today. Go check out that video if you have any doubts about PSA's quality and durability. And then to me, they started morphing into just not a high value line, but potentially a top tier line of rifles when it comes to some of their Geisley options with their cold hammer forged barrels, where they have the Geisley rails, the pinned Geisley gas blocks. These guys are really competing with top tier rifles, but at half the price. So they span the gamut between that high value and entry level AR all the way up to a top tier AR. And at every step of the way, they produce quality components, and I 100% stand behind their products. Not because they pay me or not because they send me an upper every once in a while, but because, guys, I've spent a ton of money there and they've never let me down. Now, with that being said, let's talk about this 11.5-inch upper. And then I also want to mention all of the deal alerts, and I guess it's going to be the linking and things like that are going to be on my 704 Gear Facebook page, as well as my 704 Tactical MeWe page. So stay tuned. I can't link directly to the upper on YouTube, but if you guys want more information about this upper or any other deals that will randomly pop up on their sites, definitely go check out those two pages I mentioned. Now let's start from front to back and talk about the specs and features and performance of this upper down at the range. Right off the bat, this comes with a birdcage flash hider that sits on 1/2x28 threads, which is standard for the 5.56. Now, this is attached to the 11.5-inch barrel, and this is where this build starts to really shine. This 11.5-inch barrel is made out of 4150 chromoly vanadium steel, which is an amazing barrel steel, and they don't skimp on that. It's also nitride coated, and I love to see nitride coated barrels. It's got a carbine length gas system, which is going to be key for really good recoil management. It's going to be gassed correctly, and as you can see in the intro, it is gassed darn near perfectly. With basic brass case 223, the ejection pattern was right at 4 o'clock, and when I switched to 5.56 high pressure ammo, it started to shift to 3 o'clock, meaning that you could run steel and the ejection pattern would shift back and it would still function great, or you could suppress it and it wouldn't be over gassed. So PSA has a lot of time to develop their gas systems and done an amazing job tuning this upper assembly to run great. Now, this is sitting on a registered SBR lower. This is also a Palmetto State Armory lower. It's seen a high round count, and it's just a perfect pair with one of their PSA lowers and one of their high value uppers, in this case, the 11.5-inch. Now, this 11.5-inch barrel is surrounded by an interesting rail system that I've never seen on the channel before. And that's kind of why I requested this. This rail system goes 10.5 inches, so it stops just shy of the end of the barrel, allowing you to attach a direct thread suppressor with no interference. The 11.5-inch barrel also extends past this. It does more than that. It increases the velocity of the round, and a lot of people say kind of the shortest they want to go in an SBR configuration is going to be that 11.5-inch, so they can get the velocities they need for fragmentation on impact. But ballistics is a whole other video. But just know, guys, the 11.5-inch does offer some advantages over the 10.5-inch when it comes to fragmentation and impact velocity. So this rail system also has two QD points at the front and rear on either side of the rails, allowing you to attach a sling, which is great because I generally like to run my 2-point slings here and here. And this allows me to kind of drop the rifle down like almost using it like a single point sling, but then slinging it up to stabilize it, or sling it behind my back to climb something. And then again, you have the addition of this on the front. It's got a monolithic pick rail on the top, and I absolutely love this. For me, I don't like when companies remove this here, but I do see a lot of people, they love just this smooth feel. Personally, I like this, so I'm glad they left it here. It also has a lot of lightning cuts all over the rail system, yet it's really rigid and robust. It feels like a solid rail system, and I've seen nothing walk loose. It bolts into place. It's got an anti-rotation keyway and anti-rotation tabs on the top, and the rail system is made in the USA. And it also has some nice texturing cuts right here. I think that looks pretty good. Functionally, I'm not quite sure what they do, but I absolutely love this rail system, and I think it's paired perfectly with that 11.5-inch barrel. Shifting back, the upper assembly is just your basic mil-spec upper assembly, dust cover, forward assist, and charging handle all work great. And then the BCG is going to be that shot peened Carpenter 158 steel, and that's going to be that bolt. And then the gas key is secured and staked with grade A fasteners, and everything is done well. I've never had a problem with PSA bolts. In fact, I remember back when they were a little bit cheaper, those were these high value bolts I was recommending that everybody stock up on, because they're going to get harder to find, and now that is kind of coming true. But these are solid bolts that run amazing in every single upper assembly I've tried. In a nutshell, guys, I want to start talking about its performance down at the range. And first, I want to talk about its reliability, because if it's not reliable, there's no point in doing this. Now, I didn't get to run as much ammo as I would have liked for this review, but I will continue to shoot ammo through it in the future. But you guys know ammo is just hard to find. Luckily, I dug out a 500-round sack and ran a lot of 223 reloads through it, and it functioned amazing. A little bit of 5.56 high pressure stuff just to see the ejection pattern, and everything worked amazing. It just functioned beautifully, and the ejection pattern was nice. The brass was in a good pile. So it fed, it functioned 100%, no issues there, and it was very smooth shooting. The added increase of that barrel, maybe a little bit more weight in the rail, the carbine length gas system, the overall quality machining allowed this to be a smooth shooting 11.5-inch upper. Now, when it comes to accuracy, I took this out to about 120 yards, and I was plinking little 4-inch poppers, no issues whatsoever. I mean, time and time again with basic brass cased ammunition. This is plenty accurate, and I feel like pairing this upper with an LPVO is going to be perfect. You can use it for CQB up close, and then really extend your shots pretty far. Like I said, 120 yards, no problem. I'm sure I could stretch it a lot further, but this is an amazingly capable 11.5-inch upper from PSA, and I can highly recommend it. Honestly, one of my favorite little SBR setups I've built. Now, this will be reverting back to the 10.5-inch upper as soon as this video is done, but you'll see a lot more screen time with this 11.5-inch as I upgrade it and tweak it. This is going to be one of my go-to 11.5-inch guns. I am really excited about this one. And again, all of the linking will be on my 704 Gear Facebook page, as well as my 704 Tactical MeWe page. And if you guys want to follow me on other channels with all that's going on, I do have a 704 Gear YouTube page. That's going to kind of be my backup page. So I hope you guys like the video. I hope it gives you another high value option that you can truly utilize, use, and trust for a wide variety of tasks. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.